What if I told you that right now? Somewhere in the ocean, a creature is swimming that has been alive since before the dinosaurs went extinct. Not metaphorically, not evolutionarily, literally. Ocean turtles, ancient, silent travelers, have been gliding through Earth's waters for over 100 million years. They survived asteroid impacts, ice ages, mass extinctions, and yet today, they are disappearing faster than ever. But here's the part most people don't know. Their story is far more mysterious and far more powerful than you've ever been told. Before we dive deeper, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because what you're about to discover about the ocean will completely change the way you see life on this planet. Far out in the open ocean, where the surface reflects endless blue and the depths fall into darkness, a hatchling turtle begins its life. It weighs less than a handful of sand. It has never seen the world, and yet it already knows exactly what to do. This tiny creature crawls out of the sand, guided only by the faint glow of the moon, and begins a desperate race toward the ocean. Every second matters. Birds circle above, crabs wait below. The shoreline is a battlefield. Only 1 in 1,000 hatchlings will survive, but those who make it disappear. For decades, scientists couldn't answer one simple question. Where do baby sea turtles go? They vanish into the vast ocean, into what researchers call the lost years. No one could track them. No one could observe them. It was as if they entered another world. Only recently, with satellite tracking and new technology, have we begun to uncover the truth. Young turtles drift across entire oceans, carried by currents like the North Atlantic Gyre, traveling thousands of kilometers without ever stopping. They feed on floating ecosystems, tiny worlds of algae, jellyfish, and drifting life. But here's what's truly astonishing. They remember it all. Years later, sometimes decades later, that same turtle will return to the exact beach where it was born. Not close, not somewhere nearby, the exact same stretch of sand. How? Ocean turtles use something we still barely understand. A biological GPS system tied to Earth's magnetic field. They don't need maps, they don't need landmarks. They feel the planet itself. Every movement, every shift in the ocean is encoded into their memory. And when the time comes, they come home. There are 7 species of sea turtles in the world, each one uniquely adapted to survive in extreme conditions. The leatherback turtle, the largest of them all, can dive deeper than 1,000 meters into cold, dark waters where pressure would crush most life. Green turtles travel entire oceans just to find feeding grounds. Loggerheads crush hard-shelled prey with powerful jaws. Each species is a masterpiece of evolution. But survival in the modern ocean has become something entirely different. For millions of years, turtles lived in balance with nature. But in just the last century, everything changed. Plastic now fills the oceans. Fishing lines stretch across migration routes. Light pollution confuses hatchlings, leading them away from the sea instead of toward it. And rising temperatures are doing something even more disturbing. They are changing the very biology of turtles. Unlike humans, the gender of sea turtles is determined not by genetics, but by temperature. Warmer sand produces more females. Cooler sand produces more males. And today, on some beaches, up to 99% of hatchlings are female. Think about that. An entire species, slowly losing its ability to reproduce, silently, without anyone noticing. Ocean turtles are not just survivors, They are engineers of the ocean ecosystem. They maintain healthy seagrass beds. They control jellyfish populations. They support entire marine food chains, remove turtles, and the balance of the ocean begins to collapse. And when the ocean collapses, it doesn't stay in the ocean. It reaches us. If this already changed the way you see the ocean, subscribe now. Because in the next part, we're going deeper into the most dangerous stage of a turtle's life, and the brutal reality they face in a world they were never meant to survive in. Imagine swimming across an entire ocean without ever stopping. No food guaranteed, no safe path, no protection, and everything around you is trying to kill you. This is not a movie. This is the life of an ocean turtle. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel, because what you're about to see is something most people never realize about the ocean. From the moment a turtle enters the water, it never truly rests. It swims through powerful currents that can drag it thousands of kilometers off course. Storms can flip it. Waves can exhaust it. Predators are always watching. Sharks, large fish, even birds from above. But the real danger is something much worse. Today, the ocean is no longer just a natural world. It has become a maze of invisible threats. Fishing nets stretch for kilometers, drifting silently through the water. To a turtle, they are impossible to see. One wrong move, and it's trapped. Unable to surface, unable to breathe. Slowly, it drowns. Every year, hundreds of thousands of turtles die this way, and most of them are never found. Now imagine being hungry, drifting in the open ocean, and seeing what looks like your favorite food. A jellyfish. Soft, floating, easy to catch. But it's not a jellyfish. It's a plastic bag. Turtles cannot tell the difference. They eat it. And once inside their body, it does something terrifying. It blocks their digestive system. They feel full, but they are starving. Some turtles slowly die with stomachs completely filled with plastic. Others lose the ability to dive. They float, helpless, at the surface, until something finds them. What makes this even more disturbing is that turtles are not primitive creatures. They are highly sensitive. They feel stress. They react to pain. They remember. Some rescued turtles show signs of long-term trauma. They avoid certain areas. They change behavior, as if they remember the danger, as if they learned, but the ocean keeps changing faster than they can adapt. Another silent threat moves above them. Ships. Massive. Fast. Unstoppable. To us, they seem distant. To a turtle surfacing for air, they can be fatal. A single strike can break a shell instantly. And because turtles must breathe at the surface, they cannot avoid this risk. Every breath is a gamble. But there is something even bigger happening. Something invisible, something global. The ocean is getting warmer. At first, it doesn't seem like a big change, a few degrees. But for turtles, it changes everything. Migration routes shift. Food sources disappear. Coral reefs, entire ecosystems begin to die. And when the ecosystem collapses, turtles lose the places they depend on to survive. Despite all of this, turtles continue to travel distances that are almost impossible to imagine. Some species migrate over 10,000 kilometers across entire oceans, without maps, without rest stops, without second chances, driven by something deeper than instinct, driven by memory, driven by survival. Even the strongest turtles, even the oldest survivors, are now facing a world that has changed too fast. They evolved over millions of years, But the last 100 years have done more damage than all previous time combined. And for many turtles, there is no time left to adapt. If this made you see the ocean differently, subscribe now, because in the next part, we're going to reveal something incredible. How some turtles are still surviving against impossible odds, and the hidden places where life is still fighting back. What if I told you that some ocean turtles travel across entire oceans, get lost, injured, nearly die, and still find their way back home years later? Not by luck, not by chance, but with a precision that scientists still cannot fully explain. Before we go deeper, subscribe to the channel, because what you're about to discover proves that nature is far more powerful than we think. A memory stronger than time. Some turtles leave their birthplace and don't return for 20, even 30 years. Think about that. Decades of drifting across oceans, facing storms, predators, human threats. And yet, when the time comes, they return to the same beach, the same coastline, sometimes within just a few meters of where they were born. This is not instinct alone. This is something deeper. A memory encoded into their very biology. Scientists now believe turtles use Earth like a living map. They detect subtle differences in the planet's magnetic field, like invisible coordinates. Each location has its own magnetic signature, and turtles memorize it. It's like having a built-in GPS, but one that works across entire oceans, without satellites, without technology. In some parts of the world, something remarkable is happening. Turtle populations that were once collapsing are beginning to recover. Beaches that were silent for years are now seeing new life again. Thousands of hatchlings emerging from the sand, running toward the ocean. Why? Because humans finally started to act. Conservation efforts have made a real difference. Protected beaches, reduced fishing in key areas, rescue and rehabilitation centers. Even small changes have had massive impact. In places like Costa Rica and Australia, some turtle populations have increased dramatically, proving something powerful. If we give nature a chance, it can heal. Some turtles have survived things that seem unreal. Turtles found tangled in nets for weeks, still alive. Turtles hit by boats with broken shells, repaired by human hands. Turtles that swallowed plastic, saved through surgery. And after all of that, they return to the ocean and keep going. For every turtle that is saved, many more are still lost. Entire species remain endangered. The balance is fragile, and one mistake, one generation, could change everything. Ocean turtles are more than just animals. They are a signal, a warning, a reflection of the health of our planet. When turtles disappear, it means something deeper is wrong, something bigger is breaking. But when they return, it means hope is still alive. Right now, somewhere in the ocean, a turtle is swimming across thousands of kilometers, facing dangers we can barely imagine, guided only by instinct, memory, and the pull of the earth itself. And maybe, years from now, it will reach a quiet beach under the moonlight and begin the cycle again. If this story changed how you see the ocean, subscribe now. Because in the final part, we're going to reveal something even deeper. What would happen to the planet if turtles disappeared forever? And why that future might be closer than we think. What if one day the ocean became silent? No ancient travelers, no slow shadows beneath the waves, no creatures returning home after decades. just emptiness, because ocean turtles are gone. Before we finish this story, subscribe to the channel, because understanding the ocean might be one of the most important things you ever learn. At first, nothing seems different. The water still moves, the waves still crash, the ocean still looks alive. But beneath the surface, everything begins to change. Ocean turtles play a role most people never notice, but without them, the balance starts to break. Green turtles feed on seagrass, not randomly, but in a way that keeps it healthy. They trim it, control its growth, keep it fresh. Without turtles, seagrass becomes overgrown. It rots, it dies. And when seagrass dies, entire ecosystems collapse. Fish disappear. Small species lose shelter. Food chains break. Some turtles feed on jellyfish, keeping their populations under control. Without turtles, jellyfish begin to multiply. Rapidly, uncontrollably, they spread across oceans. And here's the problem. Jellyfish don't support complex ecosystems. They replace them, creating a simpler, weaker ocean. Everything in the ocean is connected. Remove one species, and the effects ripple outward. Fish populations change, predators lose balance, habitats degrade, and slowly, the ocean becomes less diverse, less stable, less alive. This doesn't stay in the ocean. It reaches us. The ocean produces over 50% of the oxygen we breathe. It regulates the climate. It supports billions of people through food. When the ocean weakens, so do we. This is already beginning. Right now. In some regions, turtle populations have dropped dramatically. Some nesting beaches are empty. Some migration routes are broken. And yet, there is still time. The future of turtles is not decided by nature anymore. It's decided by us. Every piece of plastic, every fishing practice, every conservation effort, it all adds up. We are now part of their story. Imagine this, a quiet beach at night, the moon reflecting on the water, and from the sand, a small turtle emerges. It begins its journey, alone, vulnerable, but driven by something ancient, something powerful. The same force that has guided its species for millions of years. And as it reaches the ocean, it disappears into the dark, not as a victim, but as a survivor. Ocean turtles are more than animals. They are a connection between the past and the future, between nature and us. They remind us that life is fragile, but also incredibly strong. If you made it this far, subscribe now. Because this channel is about seeing the world differently and understanding the hidden forces that shape our planet. The ocean is still alive. The story is not over. But what happens next depends on us.